Summertime is here, and one thing that means for you is it gives you a chance to get better at catching bass. And what I mean by that is the days are longer, we have more sunlight, and it's warmer, and that gives you a chance to go out and catch our favorite fish. And in this video today, I'm going to help you become a better angler by teaching you how to overcome these 5 mistakes that I see new bass fishermen make in the summer. Some of these are mistakes I made myself. Now hey, let's go get into it. The first mistake is a big one I see new bass fishermen make, and that is not going out and fishing during the middle part of the day. There's a couple factors to why the middle part of the day, the hottest part of the day by the way, can be the best time to catch fish. One of the factors that I know that I've had from experience that's resulted in good fishing days is watching the moon phase. Now guys, there's other factors that can be involved. I mean, the moon phase is not just the sold out deal, but if the weather and everything is consistent, y'all, the summertime, that moon phase can be a really big important part of catching fish in the summer, big and small. That middle part of the day, if that moon calendar is set up right, man, you will go out and just have a chance at catching some big fish and a lot of fish as well. This is something that I've got to experience from a young angler all the way to where I'm at now. I've had a couple mentors, and I had one that was a football coach that would take me out, and he was always on that moon calendar. I mean, he'd be going by the Bassmaster magazine, and this is something that I just got to learn. I mean, and I watched the results of it. But like I said earlier, there can be other factors in place. So guys, that middle part of the day, what it does when that sun gets up and gets up high, it can position fish. It can position offshore fish. It can position shallow fish as well. It will put them in spots to where they will kind of, I guess, hide just to be easy, and to where their prey, bait fish, will come by. So when that sun gets up, they're less likely to kind of just, roam around. They'll kind of get tight to cover. It could be a brush piles, it could be rock piles. Now you do have some fish I know that will chase bait in areas on lakes too, depending on your lake. You could have a lake with grass. It will set them up in that underwater submergent grass. If you're fishing a lake that has a lot of docks, it'll set them up on docks to where they will hide in those shade lines to where your panfish are going to come by, or bait fish as well. So guys, fishing the middle part of the day is one of the best times to fish, in those hotter days too, guys. Don't think that, and this is a mistake. You're like, hey, how do you know when anglers make this mistake? Guys, there's a lot of days I'm on the water at 1 o'clock by myself and I'm catching fish, those hot part of the days. So I know this is a mistake because I watch it with my own eyes. So guys, do not give up on fishing in the middle part of the day. So the second mistake I see anglers make is not taking advantage of river systems in the summer. Not just big river systems. It could be creeks. It could be small rivers. Whatever river or stream that you have nearby, take advantage of it. For me, it was the Arkansas River. I would fish the Arkansas River in June, July, August, and man, I had some really good fishing trips. I would also take advantage of smaller rivers nearby. Guys, just depending on your area, what you have to offer. You hear about the Tennessee River system, how it's really good in the summer. And then I know there's other rivers, the Mississippi River. There's other rivers, and there's a lot of hidden gems, those small little creeks, rivers. So guys, let's talk about why we want to fish rivers and streams in the summer. Well, when there's moving water in these rivers, there's current getting created. And when current's getting created, oxygen's more prevalent. There's going to be also, with the oxygen, there's going to be your bait fish. There's going to be just more happening, and it's going to help position bass and just make it easier to catch them. So what's important for us to understand about the rivers is it can typically lead to better fishing days than highland or lowland reservoirs. And this is just depending where you're at. But rivers can be a great place to go out and catch bass in the summer, both numbers and size, and be easier for me, I know, when I was a young angler, than highland or lowland reservoirs. Now what I know, I can go out to some of these highland, lowland reservoirs, and I have a lot more confidence, and I catch more fish because I have more experience. But when I was a young angler, I took advantage of the Arkansas River, and man, I had a lot of good days. I learned how to throw a crankbait on the Arkansas River. I had some other tactics as well, but for me, I learned how to throw that crankbait, both square bill and a deep diving crankbait, and I took advantage of that as a young angler. Welcome to Bass Fishing Declassified, brought to you by Fish the Moment. Really quick, guys, if you've not, go check out the Fish the Moment website, where we have our one-on-one virtual lessons that you can book with any of our team members from Fish the Moment. There's also our map lake breakdowns, and then also our sonar settings guides. Also, guys, if you want to find a way to help support me with what I'm doing with Fish at the Moment and Bass Fishing Declassified, go check out my Facebook page. And on my Facebook page, I'm about to be making some posts. I'm already got into the on the water lessons. If you're interested in an on the water lesson or interested in me coming in your boat and helping you do an electronics lesson, hey, just shoot me a direct message. I'm going to be getting to the guiding down here where I'm at, Southwest Arkansas. I'm going to be doing some guiding on Lake Millwood as well, which is one of my lakes that I've just fished really hard the last 5 years and one of the best lakes to catch bass at in the state of Arkansas. So guys, if you're interested in supporting me, go check out my Facebook page, shoot me a message, and hey man, let's hook up and let's get on the water. Now the third mistake, okay, and this is one that I made, and I'm just really learning about this in more recent years, and it's probably because of my fishing style. And if you watch Johnny from Fish at the Moment, he can relate, because he fishes offshore and doesn't mess with what I'm about to talk about. But it's taking advantage of the topwater bite all day long. And that middle part of the day, guys, I would watch the FOW tour come to Lake Ouachita. They'd come there in May. They'd come there in July, come there in August. There were some big tournaments at Lake Ouachita. I would see guys throw a topwater lure the whole event. Now the water's really clean there, but there was also be some guys catch them on topwaters in more of the stained and muddy section. And when I was watching these guys catch them on topwater, I just didn't have confidence. I would try it, I would not commit. But guys, if you commit to this, you can catch some big fish. And it's also a fun way to catch fish. I mean, who doesn't like to catch fish on topwaters, right? Now, there's two things about this you got to understand. Are you targeting bass that are going after shad or brim? I know anglers that fish some highland reservoirs that throw those topwaters to target bluegill beds, and they will throw it all day long. They will find the bluegill beds. Of course, there's going to be some bass relating to the bluegill beds, and they will throw a topwater to catch fish. Middle of the day. I mean, I'm talking 1 o'clock. I've watched it with my own eyes, and when I watched it and realized what was going on, you know, and it's like I said, this 4 or 5 years ago, I was just in shock about how I have missed this bite. Now, some guys will go and target bait fish with it as well. Typically, early in the morning, you hear about a shad spawn, but then also them gizzard shad, them bigger gizzard shads will spawn midday, and they like certain type of banks. Okay, I'll let you kind of go investigate that a little more. They do like certain type of banks, and they'll come up and spawn on them banks midday, and guys, them bass will come up there and they will eat a big topwater. So do not miss out on the topwater bite. Okay guys, now the fourth mistake. There's going to be 3 parts about the fourth mistake, but that's not taking advantage of shade lines. Okay, now shade lines. There can be a bunch of different factors with shade line. Let's talk about the shallow water first. One example of a shade line, that's the first one, could be from bushes, could be from laydowns. Let's say you're fishing a river, and if there's a section of the river that has shade, and that shade is there for most of the day, depending on the sun direction, guys, that right there can be a great place to go catch fish. I mean, and that's one thing I learned on fishing rivers is like, hey, them shade line areas, they hold to. And it's not just them, there's going to be brim, there's going to be other factors there as well. And another example, this is the second one, is docks. Guys, bass will use the shade on docks to hide so when their prey comes by. And you got to visualize how they're using that, okay? So then when you can throw your lure and come by it, okay? So whatever your lure choice may be, think about that. Now the third thing on shade lines, and this one, you know, I probably shouldn't tell you, but I'm just going to talk about it a little bit. But that's understanding the shade of a brush pile. So let's say it's middle of the day, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, noon, and depending on that sun, how it's hitting your brush pile, it might put off shade. And let's say you have a brush pile that you catch a lot of fish out of, and you only catch them in one direction on a cast. Well, and then you move around and realize you don't catch them on other spots. Part of that could be because of the shade. And then you got to take that and try to see how it sets up to where you can go catch other fish in brush piles, okay? So that's another mistake I see anglers do not make. And also grass. I almost missed the grass. Grass as well can throw off shade line. It could be your lily pads, your grass mats. You've got to understand how they are using shade in the summer. And when you do understand, it'll just click and you will catch more fish. Okay guys, now the fifth mistake. Now this is one that I myself made as well until about 3-4 years ago. I think it was about 4 years ago. But that's not taking care of your body, taking care of your skin in the summer. What I used to do is just go out, take my shirt off. I would just go ahead and work on my tan, and I would catch fish. And guys, I would never wear sunscreen. But now today, and even like I said 4 years ago, man, I bought my first AFTCO shirt. And I remember my AFTCO Jason Christie hooded shirt, and man, I fell in love. And the one thing I like about the AFTCOs, actually, I've been wearing them for 4 years. I think I about have 7 or 8 of these now. But one thing I like about them is it helps keep you cool. So this material here, when you do sweat, it'll kind of get to you and keep you cool. But the biggest thing I like about them, guys, is the hood. What this hood does, and if you see how I wear in some videos, I've got to where I even wear them like this, and I keep it there, okay? Let me try to get it right. What I do here, why I like it this way, is once your ears are getting protected, okay, guys? Ears is a big one, man. Like, I know, I have family, I have some mentors that have had some skin stuff taken off, and that doesn't look fun. It looks painful. So this right here helps them ears because they're just getting roasted with sun. But what this does, it keeps you cool. That's my biggest thing I've realized is, hey, how that sun staying off your body, it's keeping you cool. It is protecting you, guys. So, hey, if you have not got you an AFTCO hooded shirt, I'll put this one in the description. They got a couple. You've seen me wear a couple. Okay, give them a shot. Like I said, once you wear it, you will not go back. And for me, even, guys, when I was coaching football, I was on the football field every day in the summer, just about. We were out there running drills, working on plays, running our kids, working them out, doing 7-on-7s. Guys, I got to where I was wearing these hooded shirts. I wouldn't even wear our just, our normal like coaching shirts that we'd get. I would be out there with these to protect my skin. So, hey, go ahead, guys. Give the AFTCO clothing a shot. Protect your skin. And, hey, go out in the summer and catch more fish. Let me know out of these 5 mistakes which one was a big one for you, something that you might have learned. And hey, guys, appreciate it. We'll see you next time.